The Great Washing Machine. How the global elite launders power, crimes, and trillions through crises, foundations, and central banks. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. The usual suspects. In the theater of modern history, wars are engineered, crashes are coordinated, and catastrophes are monetized. Behind the curtain is a system, the Great Washing Machine, where money is created from thin air, crises are manufactured, and evidence is erased by fire and steel. From UBS and Epstein to Lehman Brothers and 9/11, the same ruling dynasties launder their crimes, recycle their capital, and emerge even more powerful. This is not merely financial corruption. This is systemic architecture, engineered by the owners of central banks, protected by intelligence agencies, whitewashed through philanthropic foundations, and defended by media owned by the same cabal. 2008, the crash that made the crooks richer. The 2008 financial crisis wasn't an accident. It was an inside job, the detonation of a Ponzi scheme built on toxic mortgage assets, fake credit ratings, and legalized fraud. Here's how it worked. Bank the criminal players. Lehman Brothers, leveraged over 30-1 on worthless derivatives. Goldman Sachs sold subprime junk to clients while secretly betting against it. AIG insured billions in derivatives it could never cover. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac bought everything, knowing the system was doomed. Money with wings, the accomplices. Federal Reserve backstopped the entire scam with trillions of dollars in emergency lending, not to the people, but to the criminals who caused the crash. Obama administration, rather than prosecute, it bailed out the architects of the collapse. Not one major banker went to jail. Tim Geithner and Larry Summers, key enforcers of the bailout doctrine, both tied to Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and Wall Street lobbying groups. Conclusion: the same families and firms that engineered the collapse were rewarded with public funds. The real loss wasn't just economic, it was judicial and moral. The system proved that the bigger the crime, the bigger the reward. 2. 9/11. Erasing the trail of financial and intelligence crimes. On September 11, 2001, two planes brought down 3 towers. But beneath the rubble lay something far deeper than steel beams and dust, a mountain of financial records, ongoing investigations, and black budget trails. Fire what was inside. WTC Building 7, not hit by any plane, collapsed symmetrically into its own footprint, housing offices of the CIA, SEC, and Secret Service. Hundreds of billions in financial fraud investigations were being stored in hard copy. Pentagon's missing $2.3 trillion, announced by Donald Rumsfeld on September 10, 2001, vanished from public discourse the very next day. Oil drum, Cui Bono, who benefited? Rockefeller oil firms got their war in Iraq. Halliburton, tied to Cheney, secured no-bid oil contracts. Military-industrial complex got a 20-year war economy. CIA black sites and NSA surveillance exploded under the pretext of terror. Conclusion: 9/11 was not just a false flag. It was a reset switch, eliminating records, justifying war, and laundering trillions through defense, reconstruction, and drug routes in Afghanistan. 3. The WMD lie. Oil, gold, and a blood-soaked empire. The Iraq War was justified with the claim that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, a fiction crafted by the CIA, Mossad, MI6, and sold to the public by media barons tied to the same financial elite. Black flag the real objectives. Seize oil fields and install Western-controlled central banks. Plunder Iraq's gold reserves and erase sovereign control over resources. Destroy evidence of oil-for-food kickback schemes tied to European and American officials. Establish military bases for long-term regional domination. Military metal, who got paid. BlackRock and Halliburton via reconstruction. Private mercenaries, like Blackwater, laundering military funds. Weapons manufacturers, funded by debt created via Seignorage. Israel, whose regional enemies were systematically destroyed. And who took the fall? Nobody. Conclusion: the elite orchestrated a war based on lies, killed over 1 million civilians, and restructured the Middle East, not for democracy, but for profit. 4. Seignorage, the crown jewel of organized theft. Few understand the greatest laundering scam of all, seignorage, the the profit made from issuing currency. Here's the dirty secret. Central banks, like the Federal Reserve, are privately owned by families like the Rothschilds, Warburgs, and Rockefellers. They create money out of nothing, lend it to governments, and charge interest on fake capital. This money is then used to buy real assets, land, companies, gold, infrastructure, while the public pays the interest through taxes and inflation. No guns, no bombs, just keyboard keystrokes that enslave entire nations. And not one person in public education, media, or government ever dare speak about it. Conclusion: Seignorage is the world's largest legal mafia racket, a silent tax on humanity. The ultimate form of money laundering is the creation of money itself. The unbroken chain of power. From Maxwell to Epstein, from Boesky to Milken, from Madoff to FTX, from 9/11 to 2008, and from Saddam to Seignorage, the same system runs on loops. 1. Create a crisis. 2. Let evidence disappear. 3. Launder the money through banks, foundations, and war. 4. Profit, reset, repeat. The same families always benefit. The same media always lies. The same politicians always obey. Final word: the real axis of evil. It's not Iraq, Iran, or North Korea. It's Wall Street, Langley, Tel Aviv, London City, and Davos, an unholy alliance of bankers, spies, arms dealers, and technocrats, laundering not only money, but history itself. The great washing machine never stops. It spins endlessly, cleansing crime in real time, fueled by debt, war, and mass ignorance. And until we shatter the gears and name the operators, it will keep laundering not just their sins, but our futures.